Hello, amazing people in reproductive health across the United States and Canada. I'm Griffin Jones. This is the greatest city on earth, Buffalo, New York, and we are going to go to my computer.
Okay, we're back, and not just because I wanted to change into a nicer shirt either. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this so I can show you with real examples how 90% of fertility centers, and I think I'm being very generous with this number, are massively disrespecting social media. So if you don't get any value from this video, you have to let me know so I can take you off the email. I only want to send you things that will bring you value. And at this point, it's not a difference of philosophy or worldview. This is real results, real data, real things that are happening with social media, with fertility centers. And if it doesn't make sense, then the content that I'm giving you isn't going to be valuable to you. The thing that 90% of fertility centers are screwing up on social is this idea that just because you post something means that people see it. I'll say that again because I want to be religiously clear with it. Just because you post something onto Facebook, post a photo on Instagram, tweet something on Twitter, does not necessarily mean that even a single soul sees it. I'll show you how to audit it on your own social media because a lot of you are spending time and money on this, and by auditing it, you'll know if you're in the right place or not. This is why I tell you to get off Twitter. It's just too busy for fertility centers. Look at my feed. I only follow a couple hundred people. There are people on Twitter that follow thousands, and you look and they're just minutes apart from it. 36 minutes ago, 37 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, 41, 41, 45, 48. These are just minutes apart. You don't check your Twitter feed for a half hour and it's buried. So unless you're going to post all the time, and then what would you even be posting all the time? It would be the same link, and that's not conversational. And I can tell because I've gone to dozens of fertility centers' Twitter feeds, clicked on this tweets and replies, and I never see any replies. I never see talking to anyone. So no one's seeing them. They just get buried under the feed. It's just not the place. If you like that more mobile-centric, quicker type of social, let's take a look at Instagram. But not now. Let's save that for a different post. I want to jump into Facebook because this is where most of you are spending money or time or both. And I picked this place as an example here. I blacked out their names because I don't know them from Adam. Maybe they're nice people. But this is an example of someone spending money on Facebook and not reaching anyone. This place has 27,000 people that like their fertility center on Facebook. I'm going to call them fans. 27,000 fans is far too many. That means somebody bought too much Facebook advertising, probably to the wrong people. I don't know if they're even in their area. Even for a major market, that's just too big to be relevant. So you would think out of 27,000 people that they would be reaching a lot. But let's look at their typical posts, and only 4 people like their post. 4 people out of 27,000. And that's typical for them. The problem means that if only 4 people like it, no one out of that 27,000 people is seeing it. Why is no one seeing it? Because no one's liking, commenting, or sharing the content. It's a cycle. And I want to show you what that cycle looks like. Stay with me here. I'm taking you into the Facebook newsfeed. If you understand the Facebook newsfeed, you'll understand reach and social. Pay attention. Facebook newsfeed comes from the home button. So it's just the first thing that people see when they come into Facebook. The average person has hundreds of friends and likes dozens of pages on Facebook. Okay? So all of that content being pushed out would just end up looking like Twitter and no one would see it. So instead of the Twitter feed, Facebook has an algorithm that they deliver to people based on the things that they've liked and commented and shared in the past. So if you like a certain page and interact with them, you're going to see them in your newsfeed more frequently. Same thing with your friends. And this is what people go on Facebook to do, to like photos of their friends and family, new wedding pictures, old friends from college, new pets, and cute things like this. This is why fertility centers should be playing so well in this space. But a lot of what I also see people doing is the other end of the spectrum, which is having almost no one that likes the page and then one person likes their post, and they'll post once or twice a day, and no one's seeing that either because this audience is too small. You have to end up in people's news feeds or else they don't see it. And if they don't see it, how is it impacting business? How are you getting new patients from social media if no one is seeing it? Social media works when your best patients are promoting you and creating these stories to go into the feeds of their friends, family, and acquaintances who are the new patients. So if you say, oh, we're just a healthcare center, how can we compete with people's friends and how can we do this? It doesn't have to be this way. How come Fertility Institute of Hawaii can post a picture of their staff and reach almost 80 people, or excuse me, have almost 80 people like it, reaching more people than actually like the page? Or on the 4th of July, someone posts a picture with her and her baby in uniform, and over 100 people like it and comment on it, and those are all her friends and family. How come Buffalo IVF can post something, reach way more than their audience, have hundreds of people like the post, have dozens of people share it, and then have comments that you can respond to? This is how you get in people's news feeds, creating these stories. And it's because those places are doing 3 things correctly that I've never seen any other fertility center in the country do all 3 correctly. The first is managing Facebook advertising to get to a point where it's relevant and the right size audience. Second, community management, i.e. being human. And the third is the right kind of content. That's the story on Reach. I hope you got some value from it. If you did, please let me know in an email. I love getting that love from you. And I'll also know that I should work on a post for next week or the week after, which is helping you with that third piece, content.